Good morning, everyone. This is Sun Kim's weekly global briefing on 6th July. A couple of days ago, it was Independence Day in the United States, and then on Friday there's no markets in the United States. And yesterday, Warren Buffett, the Berkshire Hathaway, said that they buy the energy stocks and so many Dominions and so many others. They put more than $10 billion. Just one, not 10 billion, $1 billion on the Dominions and other energies, and including the pipelines. I didn't mention it in today's briefing because it is just a small news. And I hopefully it is some kind of rebound in the energy sector, and then maybe on the third quarter or maybe end of this year, the energy sector will rebound, and maybe next year they'll give us very little dividend about it. Okay, so now I'd like to start with the indices and commodities as usual. Okay. So this is just another day, and as you see that last Thursday, the Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and the S&P 500 they'll show all green lights, and but the problem is that they only raise very small portions. Because on Monday they made a big drop, and then they steady rise again and again, and compared to the last week they raised maybe around 200 or 300 points around in Dow Jones. And Nasdaq shows it recovers another 10k lines, and now it's on 10,207 points. And the problem is that on Thursday they have a big red. They have a really big red it's a column, big red column. Yes. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. They made a big red column, so that now they have now I think there is maybe 10,200 300. That is the limit of the Nasdaq now, and unless the COVID-19 is solved, then the Nasdaq cannot go up to more than 11k lines. And another big issue is about the VIX indexes, and then it dropped more than 30s. Now it's closed on 29.9, and it is good news that now the futures and the options of the United States, it will be stabilized as time goes on, and then it means that the consumers market and all the real world, it is recovering, although there still is a COVID-19 problems. And now you see the commodities, and gold, silver, and platinum, they all dropped, and they show the red lights, and then but there's a good chance that you can buy on the silver on September future or platinum on October. And now the gold is another peak, so I recommend you to sell maybe more than half you have now, and then just keep calm and see what happens. And now the palladium shows the green lights, and it also shows some kind of and now you can go to long position. The problem is that I don't think that the palladium can go strongly up to maybe more than 2,600, maybe 2,500, $600 like the last year before. Because COVID-19 also suppresses the car industries, especially the gasoline engines, and now everybody is moving to the hybrid, like the Tesla or the Nikola or whatever. Okay, so now everybody moved to the electric cars or the hydraulic cars or the hybrid, whatever. Okay, now you can see the copper in the September future. It drops and it shows a red light, but it is good news that it surpassed. It really passed more than $2.70 lines. Now it's $2.72 per pound, and it is really high position, and it overcome the gaps that COVID-19 made, and now it is on the resistance line on the last October and November. Okay. So whether because maybe on the semiconductors demand is still rising, and then I think that the China is still working on that too. And the problem is that whether the COVID-19 is influencing this, and then it can drop or not. Okay. Anyway, the former highest line is already broken, and then now it's going up. But the problem is the copper. Yeah, I'll talk to you later about that. Now the commodities about the oils. All three oils, they all dropped, and they show the red lights. And they are in the middle of the gaps the COVID-19 made, and the WTI and Brent, they are still in the make some kind of box patterns about. And it is. Well, you have to check that. Whether the Berkshire Hathaway will influence this oil price this week or not, because the Berkshire Hathaway, they put a lot of money already on the shale, and then they put the Occidental, and then failed, unfortunately. Yes, unfortunately Berkshire failed. But it is just a part of that, very small part of their portfolio, and that now the Berkshire Hathaway put another bannings on the Dominions and other energy sectors, so we have to check it out now. And the Dubai oil, it dropped again, and the India and China, they have some kind of dispute, not only in the borders but also in the economy and all the sectors in every perspectives in the world. So it is another issue that we have to check it out this week. Now it's the weekly news that Goldman Sachs said that Goldman lowers US GDP forecast to sees a 4.6% contraction in 2020, and everybody knows that. But the Goldman said that it is somewhat deeper. Some made some kind of deeper contradiction, but be careful. Okay, they are like a loan shark. They put in some kind. They say that okay, now we're in a contradiction, so you're gonna start short position, and they are waiting, and they're in the opposite side, the long position. Okay, so you have to be careful about this news. Number 2, gasoline is cheap this July 4th. Fuel retailers aren't complaining. Yeah, aren't complaining, but they are not so happy about that too, because now the gasoline price is still rising a little bit. And now the natural gas, so does the natural gas. But the cheap gasoline means that now the inflation is low, so everybody can live much longer. So it is a good news, another good news for the U.S. citizen. But the other global world, they have to make some kind of inflation, but there's not enough inflation that they can boost up the economy. So that is another problem for the rest of the world. Now the third one is that the Zomato. That there's a kind of delivery apps developed by India, and the biggest delivery app in India too. And then it was cut their financial aid from the China because the India China, they made up these tensions. They had the tensions on the borders, and now the Indian government said that okay, now we ban all the financial aids that is from the Chinese to our startup companies. So the Zomato, they will cut their financial aid from the China. Now they will find another issue. Find other sources from the maybe European companies or other maybe in the United States or the Japanese companies. They have to find other financials, or they will have a really big hit on their growth. Not only their growth, but also their revenue too. Now we will check the market forecast. The Dow Jones and S&P 500, they formed the box patterns, and Nasdaq surpassed the 10K lines, but it makes a weak rise, and on Thursday it made a really big red column on Thursday. So you have to move to the other maybe Dow Jones and S&P 500 rather than Nasdaq, because it shows the power shortages. It cannot make a bull this week, unfortunately. Yeah, and also the Federal Reserve will make some kind of reserve make some kind of limit for the liquidity. So the Nasdaq, it will make some kind of a downward movement. This is a bear market for the Nasdaq only. And number 2, the copper overcome the existing gap. Yeah, it is a good news. Yeah, COVID-19 made the gap, and then the copper overcome. So somebody said, okay, now the COVID-19 is over, and then now the economy will be recovered. But you have to check the oil together. Oil is not overcoming yet, okay? But it's so that the copper faces the resistance, and you know that it passed the the $2.72 per pound. It is good news. And it tries to boost based on the recovery of the Chinese economy recovery also, but the problem is that COVID-19 still exists and it suppressed it. And also, not only the China, but also it is suppressed. The COVID-19 suppresses the India too, and the India is just suffering harder, and it is harsher than the other countries. So you have to check it up too. And number 3, we have to check the wheat price. Wheat price rebound. Now it touched the bottom. It really touched the bottom and it rebounds. And maybe it'll make another rebound, and then it's good news. And the problem is that maybe it'll make another bull market too, like a rice. Everybody said the rice is now is stabilized, but you know what? It is the future of this September. In July future, it rise more than $20 once again, and then now the July future is $16 in rice. So it is not over yet. So you have to check it up every single month when you are checking your commodities. Okay, it is really important. Now it's a weekly focus. Now, how long the difference between stock and market goes? You know that the financial market is really overheated and is about to melt down, and the real world, the consumers market, is really cold. So as time goes on and then still it sustains, then maybe in near future there will be another event that collapse the financial market again. Okay. And number 2, does China-India dispute makes another event on the global economy? Yes, absolutely. Now already made it. They are fighting each other about not only in the borders but also in the financial markets, in IT industries and everything, and the trading and everything. Okay, and every perspective, they are fighting each other. Now, the India has chance to get the support from Russia and the United States, and the China, they have 2 fighting lines. Okay. They have 2 front lines, not only with the US, but also with India together. Now it is a really hard time for the China to fight with them. Now number 3, about the US presidential election. Okay, US presidential, GOP and the Democratic Party, they all have a problem. They cannot make a mess, mess games or some kind of caucus, whatever. Okay, they cannot do anything, so they have to go over by online. And you know that the Democratic is familiar and they are friendly with the media, so they say that the Joe Biden, Biden will be the next president, and whatever they say, blah blah blah. But you know what? 4 years ago, so the same thing happened to the Hillary Clinton. So now I'll tell you what. US presidential, it is another issues on the 3rd and the 4th quarters of this year. And when there's a very bad performance in the 3rd quarter, then the 4th quarter it will rebound, and there is so many chances. So how much it rebounds on the stock markets, it will decide whether the GOP or the Democratic Party will get it. I mean, the Trump or Biden will be decided on October and the November's stock indexes. So we have to check it out until maybe 3 or 4 months later. So this is the end of the weekly global briefing, and have a good day and have a good investment, and keep your principle. Now it is time to go down. It's time to bear market again. So you have to be careful. So God bless you and have a great day. Thank you.